horror movies. We all love them. Being a horror fanatic is actually the best.
Try anything and you're canceled, bro.
Except when it's not. More and more often, it seems newer horror movies have found a fixed formula for making horror movies with low effort, low stakes, and high rewards. But this is not a video to get into that topic, that will be for another time. In this video, however, we will give you our list of the top 10 things we hate about horror movies. This could be either tropes, recurring scenes, overused plot points, or anything that make you want to go, oh my lord.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Stop it! Did I get any in my mouth?
Oh my god!
Did I get any in my mouth?
Number 10. I'll just call this, it's too easy to make a horror movie. Unfortunately, it seems that Hollywood have found a winning formula for how to make a lot of money making horror movies based on extremely lazy writing. This might be harsh, and I've said it before, but I will say it again. You can be the most uncreative and unintelligent writer and make a horror movie that will make you money. Just hide the bad writing behind a group of stupid people making stupid decisions to drive the plot forward. Be sure to include the most cliché tropes imaginable, some of which we will come back to later. Create a few jump scares and a few scenes that will look good in a trailer. Have the trailer make the movie look good, and you're almost guaranteed to make some money. And it absolutely helps if you have a well-established brand already. And yes, I am looking at you, Blumhouse, the production company that is responsible for some of the biggest super stinkers in the last few years.
Number 9. A good ending that's not so good because we got to hold the door open for possible future sequels that will make us more money. The fan base of horror movies are probably a bit divided when it comes to which type of ending they prefer. Some prefer the gritty, to some extent more real, ending where it's not always a happy ending and not everyone would have survived if it wasn't for the +3 heavy plot armor they were wearing. While others prefer the actual classic happy ending, you know, the one where the protagonist and their surviving friend or lover walks hand in hand into the sunset together after defeating the great evil. But Hollywood has found a way to please us both by making almost every horror movie ending into a good, happy ending that ends in an abrupt jump scare to make sure we know the monster, demon, or villain is in fact not dead and will come back for a possible sequel in the future when we need more money. But is it really satisfying though? Is it? The answer is no. Too few movies dare to be a standalone movie anymore, which is a shame. Which is almost ironic when some of the best horror movies in the latest decade have in fact been standalone movies.
No!
Number 8. Jump scares. Ugh. Throughout the existence of humanity, we have asked ourselves the most important questions of them all. What is the meaning of life? Are we alone in the universe? Is there an afterlife? Are jump scares really scary? The answer is 42, probably not, and absolutely not. And I'm gonna say something that might provoke some of you. Jump scares are a means of creating the illusion of something being scary, and it is a clear sign of a director with very low confidence in his own skills. Relying on jump scares to create the horror in a horror movie is the clear sign that you have failed your job, and you should not direct horror movies at all. A sudden loud sound can make most people flinch. That doesn't mean it's scary. But I know there are some people out there that loves jump scares, but like, don't let them set the premise of what makes a scary movie. Like, take a look at this. Why the fuck does a handkerchief make a jump scare sound like that? There is nothing scary about a handkerchief landing on the window of a car. It wouldn't even make a sound in real life. It doesn't make any sense. Oh my lord. I guess at the end of the day, it's all about preference. And I prefer not to have my ears ringing from a loud ass sound accompanied by a fucking cat entering the screen. Thank you very much.
Number 7. Yeah, no, I hear your warning, but I'm going to actively ignore it. This next point on the list both includes the typical trope of the spouse or friends not believing a person who claims they have seen something ominous or frightening, and those who just ignores every red flag in existence, which eventually will end in their death. Now, to some extent, you can't blame anyone for instantly believing whatever is being said, especially when it comes to something that defies the rule of nature. But some horror movies take it too far to the point where the spouse or friend has seen or experienced something themselves and still doesn't believe it.
Number 6. Inconsistency is the key to success. Have you ever seen a horror movie that had a twist at the end that just made the whole plot of the movie makes absolutely no sense? Of course you have. Now, inconsistencies are for sure more common in franchises with a lot of sequels, where the lore and rules that are applied changes between movies. But then you gotta ask yourselves, how the fuck do you manage to break your own rules in the same goddamn movie? Or from one movie to the sequel? And yes, I'm looking at you, Smile 2. Which plot twist just erases the last 40 minutes of the movie, making it pointless, and therefore makes the movie completely moot? It's not uncommon for writers of big franchises with a lot of movies behind it to not even watch the previous movies, either because they want to take a new spin on it, or I don't know, they're just overconfident, I guess. Inconsistencies are not necessarily something that will break a movie, but goddamn, is it annoying?
Number 5. I hit him over the head with a spoon. I'm pretty sure he's dead, okay? How many horror movies have the protagonist of the movie knocking the villain or monster unconscious and then proceeds to run away or just stand there looking at them? Like, you got the bitch on the floor. What do you mean you think he's dead? You take that baseball bat and you bash him in the head. Pronto! Even worse is when the villain is armed as well, and they don't even take the weapon with them. What the actual fuck? There is a reason Scream made a point out of this, as a nod to the exact horror movie trope. But did that stop? Absolutely not. It still happens. To this day. Why? I know why, and you will find your answer in number 10 on this list. To quote Zombieland's rule number 2, double tap.
Number 4. Curiosity killed the cat, but also the curious human. As an introvert myself, I can with confidence say the easiest thing in the world is to ignore sounds of knocking on my door, or the doorbell ringing at night, or hearing a noise downstairs when I'm home alone. Tell me, what is with this extreme urge to follow an obviously creepy or ominous sound to a remote dark area where you are almost guaranteed to be killed? Just mind your damn business and the survival rate will go up by 80% straight away, and you have the critical ducky guarantee on that one. If I had $1 for every time a character in a horror movie walks off alone into the dark to follow a sound they have absolutely no interest in actually finding out what is, then I could probably afford a quarter of a Nintendo Switch 2, which is a reference that will eventually be unrelatable.
Number 3. I'm in a horror movie. I can't act like a normal person. When describing the behavior of a character in a horror movie, it would probably be easier to point out the things that do make sense rather than the endless list of things that doesn't make any sense. But we're going to do it anyway. People falling over then proceeds to crawl instead of getting up again. People hiding in the most obvious bad spots. Moving in slow motion to open a door or pulling away a curtain. Not turning on the lights in the house. Running in an obvious wrong direction, standing still while the killer keeps stabbing them, groups splitting up, walking in slow motion towards someone standing still with their backs turned to them, people putting their hands on someone's shoulders and screams, "Hey!" as if that's normal to do. It's a rare thing to come across a normal human being in a horror movie, and it is a bad sign when you are actually surprised whenever someone is doing something rational, right?
Number 2. haven't I seen this before? What is a typical returning scene in a horror movie? If you said the nice old person who explains how to fight evil for them to die afterwards, you're absolutely correct. If you said the classic medicine cabinet mirror jump scare, you're also correct. But what we are talking about here is the good old going to the library or an internet cafe to learn everything you need to know about the evil's origins. Should we be annoyed by this? No, not really. Is it overused? Yeah, kinda.
Number 1. Why the dog, man? Why the dog? The life of the pets in a horror movie is a rough one, and often a short one. It's well established that if you have a pet in a supernatural movie, especially if you move into a new home, the pet's got to die. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. It's just how it is. But why though? No one likes to see a dog die. A cat maybe, but never a dog. You know what? I want to see a horror movie where John Wick moves into a new house with his dog and the dog gets killed. The demon will learn who the real boogeyman is. It needs to happen. With everything said and done though, this list was, for the most part, just made for fun, and we still love all types of horror movies. Even the ones that include one or more tropes from this list. Well, to be fair, we would have a very limited section if we were to exclude horror movies that includes one or more of these tropes. Would we want to see less of this in the future movies? Yeah. But we don't hold our hopes up. Do you agree with our list? What vexes you the most about horror movies? Let us know in the comment section below. And until next time, we will be back with something completely different.